Hey guys, it's Toy Hunter Tony here with episode 21 of this week's Behind the Hunt podcast. Each week's our podcast goes behind the scenes of an upcoming video. This week's episode is going to really happy belated Easter. Hope you guys had a great Easter. Since our kids have gotten bigger and we don't chase around the house for Easter bunnies anymore, we decided to go to amusement parks, Busch Gardens, Carowinds, Six Flags. We even went up to Cedar Point on an Easter weekend. If you did not know, the parks are really thin on Easter, and you can ride all the main attractions like the Fury 325. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But we have always enjoyed spending the weekend with our kids and enjoying Easter. So happy belated Easter. If you guys go out, tell me what you do on your Easter weekends. A lot of people did not know that these theme parks are open and ready for business, and you can go anywhere and do anything in the parks that you want. Really, I don't mean anything you want, but anything you're allowed to do, I think you should say. Hey, Nikki's in the house. How you doing? Nikki didn't go with us. Sierra doesn't like Sierra's his main squeeze. Sierra doesn't like roller coasters, the big scary ones. And Fury 325. We got to the park. The first thing we do is we race to the right because they open up. We get through the check-in. The check-in was pretty quick. It wasn't a really long line. We pulled out. We were in the first 3 rows of parking. We were able to be about maybe 80 people in the park, and as soon as you got through everything, we literally, here, let me get a drink of water. We literally went to the right because the Fury, it's a hyper coaster. We call them mega coasters, but Nikki's telling me they're called hyper coasters. They're huge, and the Fury, is the main attraction. I'll tell you when and where. I've got detailed. So we are going to set this up. Nikki's going to do some post-production for me. We're going to have the picture of the ride, and then we'll have some video. This year, they were really tight on, I don't know what you want to say. They were really, they got signs saying you can't hold your camera. You can't, you'll be escorted out of the park. It's a safety thing, right? You drop your camera and you're 60 miles an hour and you get somebody in the back seat, you're in trouble. So the videos that I may or may not have, be at certain parks or not have parks, yeah. So this year we did not videotape anybody from the ride. Because they have cameras and they have people checking, and we didn't want to get kicked out. But you'll see some videos of some other parks that we have some footage of. All right, I'm not going to get into detailed. I don't want to be legally binding by any of these parks for posting videos. I don't recommend it. We saw some people doing it, and people dropped their phones. And one of those parks, there's 30, 40 phones all at the bottom of the mega coaster. And you had to go back at the end of the day to get your phone. And then when you claim your phone, you were also then told you couldn't come back. So a lot of people weren't claiming their phones. They were just writing it off. So there you go. There's some information. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. Nikki's going to put some information in the top right-hand corner. This whole podcast is going for Carowinds. So if you did not know, it is on what is it? Highway 77. It is south. Let's see. Look at me. Here is Charlotte, and you go south towards South Carolina. As you're leaving North Carolina, that border is Carowinds, and right down the middle of the park, you have North Carolina and South Carolina. And part of the Furies in both states. It's pretty cool. I love that one. But this park opened up in 1973. It literally was anticipated of not just an amusement park, but they wanted to have malls, shopping in that area, hotels, and they wanted to put an NFL stadium right in that same location. If you do not remember, back in 73, late 73, right after this park opened, they had an oil embargo, which kind of just shot to hell any future plans of opening, the NFL park or any of the malls. That stuff all got. Nick, can I say the word shit canned? I don't think I can say that. We'll take that out. You know what I mean. They canceled it. But in 75 through 92, Taft Broadcasting owned it. Let's see, who's it? So 73 to 75 was Carowinds Corporation was the amusement park. Carowinds. They only owned it for 2 years. Then they sold it to Taft Broadcasting and Keco. Keco, and they when they got it, they built Thunder Road. And if you did not know, if you hadn't been there, Thunder Road was that twin racing wooden coaster, and they had dual carts, and it would go up and it would go out and around, and that was awesome. I was one of my favorite wooden roller coasters, and believe it or not, Nicky's first roller coaster was on that one. And he was screaming. He was freaking out. Yes, you were. He was freaking out. And to everyone's dismay, they stopped the carts halfway up the thing because Mr. Nicholas was freaking the hell out. And they were telling him he didn't have to go. And then they were saying, you can come out and stand with us. And he's like, I don't want to ride. But we didn't want to get off. They would have to unlock everything, take everything off. It would be a 45-minute delay. I got Nicky calmed down. Shut up, Nick. Got Nicky calmed down, talked to the park guy. Nicky said, I'll ride the ride. And they proceeded to let us go back up. And he was screaming all the way up to the top and over the top. And then when we came down, I love this. I mean, he was just, it was awesome. So Thunder Road was a hell of a ride. And it was there between what Taft Broadcasting had it from 75 to 92. It was the first of 3 years of existence. They spent $1.6 million on that ride. That's crazy for being a wooden roller coaster ride. That's what that looks like right there. And I don't have video of Nicky riding that one, but we'll put our roller coaster experience towards the bottom. Ride experience. You ready, Nick? All right, cool. So in 1980s, what is this? Oh my goodness, what did I have? I can't read my own writing. Dang, Nick. We're just going to skip that part. 1980s. Oh, sorry. Carolina Cyclone. It was the first one to have 4 inversions. If you ever seen those Busch Gardens commercials where they show it going like this, that was the first one that they had here in North Carolina in 1980. That one's been there a long time. That ride is 43 years old, and it's later in my description, but it was one of our 4 rides to bypass. It is just too rough. It beats the hell out of you. To our dismay, that was Jackson's first. Picture Jackie. That was Jackson's first roller coaster ride, and believe it or not, Grandpa Ernie, hey Dad, how you doing? Said he would ride that with Jackie, and that was like the worst ride to go on. It wasn't smooth as hell. My dad's, I don't know, how old was Dad then? 77? I think it was 3 years ago. But Dad's 80. Happy birthday, Dad. Belated, because we were all together in Asheville. But that was Jackie's first ride. And Marion yelled at me and said that wasn't the first time he rode it, but that was the first time with Grandpa. There we go. Shut up, Nick. But anyways, so that had, what was that? See, 1982 also was when they brought in the water park. It was called Ocean Island Water Park, and it was owned by an outside contractor. But then it was bought and remodeled, had a 700,000 gallon wave pool put in. That one, they have 2 wave pools now, but the original wave pool was there since 1987, if you can believe that or not. But then they did a remodel here recently, and they expanded the water park. There you go. That is the wave pool, and that is our family enjoying the waves. Marion, I'm sorry. You said no pictures of you in a bikini. All right, cool. And then 1990s, the Gauntlet. That was the first prototype of its ride. It was the first time it was released. It was pretty cool. But then it was renamed later. It's called Snoopy's Great Escape. And that was from 93 to 06. Paramount bought the park. And they brought in like Days of Thunder, Wayne's World, which was a whole theme park area. That's Wayne's World right there. And that's where they have the hurler. I don't know if you Wayne's World. All the restaurants were themed. And that wooden roller coaster was awesome at the time, but then it got a facelift 5-6 years ago, right, Nick? And they put new carts on it. It used to be two people or three people would sit in a cart and they would ride the roller coaster, and it beats the hell out of you now. It's like they need to redo that one, because that is like the second roller coaster of this park that we think needs to be retired or get a retread. But they had already tried to retread it, and they put a new cart on it, because the original cart, when you would slide in the corner, you would squash your kid. Sorry, Michael. He's not here. Michael, sorry about that. When he was little and he rode that, he loved that roller coaster ride. But then this big old fathead of a guy was squishing Michael like this. So that was crazy. And that was Michael. That was you. He was pretty young there. Good looking kid right there. And then that's a clip right there. That is, yeah, that right there at that point right there, that is where it beats the hell out of you. And that is like the second one of the Carowinds needs to either fix it or get rid of it. But anyways, let's see, 7.5 million. Doubled the water park size. That's when they literally duplicated the theme park, and then they spent $10 million on Top Gun. And if you did not know what Top Gun was, it is now called Afterburner, because I'll talk about it here in a minute. Paramount sold the park, so then they weren't allowed to use Paramount like Top Gun. They dropped Top Gun. They dropped Days of Thunder. They dropped the Intimidator. That ride's no longer called the Intimidator. But what does this say? Scooby-Doo. It was literally the 2000s. The water coaster was there. You're here in Greensboro, Wet and Wild. There was a water cannon gun that you rode in it, and it would squirt water. You could shoot at other people in carts going by in the roller coaster ride. It was kind of like a gondola thing. You could drop buckets of water because it would fill up water, and you could dump on people underneath you. That's the same type of thing that they had at Carowinds, but then they did away with it. It breaks down a lot, and it spends too much. It has too much downtime. But then in 2001, Wayne's World was remodeled. That whole area was called Action Zone in 2006, because that's when Paramount sold the park to Cedar Fair. That's Cedar Fair, and that's a Paramount logo. Are we allowed to do it's a copyright thing. We're going to show you Wayne's World. But you literally can't. I love that. I love that movie. But let's see. So Cedar, let's just see. Cedar Fair didn't own the naming rights. I already said that. The Nighthawk, it was called the Borg Assimilator. That was another one of those rides. So you sit down on it backwards, and it goes this way. And as it goes, it spins you around. So you're flying like Superman. And that is called Nighthawk now. And believe it or not, that's a really fun ride. It's got this really large strap that kind of holds you, and it feels like you're floating, flying in the air like Superman, which Six Flags has one like that. But Nighthawk, when they remodel it, they changed the color from the Borg Assimilator. I didn't know how that associated with the Borg. I don't know. That was a stretch at the time. But that one, if you go to it, you go to it first, and you go get in line, and they run it for about 2 hours, and then they have to shut it down. That thing spends more time down than it does up. We went and got in line, got right up to the gate, and they had to shut it down. They got to cycle through it to get it to work right. And me and Marion, we left to go change our lockers. You got lockers for an hour or so, and you move them from one part of the park to the other side of the park. If you buy a main locker and you go to the park and you come back to that locker, holy crap, that's a nightmare. So my recommendation is go to the section of the park, ride all the rides, rent one of those lockers. It pays by the hour. Your minimum is an hour. We did that, but we had to go walk all the way back to it. And by the time we got back from the locker, moving the locker, getting ready for lunch, the boys finally got to ride Nighthawk. Nighthawk doesn't need to be retooled. It doesn't need to be eliminated. It just needs to be more efficient. It breaks down too much. But anyways, just give you some more information. And that clip right there, that is Michael, Max, and Jack riding Nighthawk. And you can see them briefly because they go around and they come up. And right there, when they go up and over, right, slow it down. Right there, that's Mike, Max, and Jack on Nighthawk. All right, and then 2010, the Intimidator was built, and it was 232 feet tall. That was awesome. That's the one Marion rode. Ready? I do have some footage of that. Max is screaming. I don't have any video footage of Marion. She would not get back on it. She rode it with Michael back in the day, and she had no idea what she was getting into, and she had hunched over and grabbed it. She had hurt her back, and she's screaming like this the whole time. I've never seen anyone ride a roller coaster like that. But sorry, I'm all out of breath. No, that's a really good ride. It's got like 10. I love it when you get to the top, and there's like that free zero gravity thing where you kind of float in the air and then you scream and then you go down. But that's one of my favorite rides at Carowinds. Fury's number one. All right, so let's get back to it. So then also 2000, let's see, you could not opening until late for Christmas. Oh, there you go. So the year 2020. So in year 2020, COVID was happening, and they had to shut the park down. And then they opened it up later that year for Christmas, and they had so they had holidays. They got Halloween, they got Christmas, but the park is open year round, and then it's weekends only in February and January because it's too damn cold. But that helps. You can go sneak out there for a weekend. All right, and then that was the park over the years. And then next part is closed and defunct rides. They had a powder keg. Powder keg was from 73 to 2009. It's where Runaway Wild Thornberries of Nickelodeon. And then it got renamed between 2009 and 2010 to Nickelodeon. But that one's gone. I'm not going to get into it, but that is the picture. That is what that ride looked like. And then you got Thunder Road. It was a dual coaster. I was talking about it. It lasted from 76 to 2015. And it had been replaced. It was a wooden coaster and demolished in favor of the second part of the water park and Boomerang Bay. And then renovation into Carolina Harbor. So that was one of the biggest wooden roller coaster rides in the Southeast. But now it's, a water park, because that way they can go all year round. There was another one called White Lightning from 1977 to 1988. That's it right there. They called it a weight drop shuttle coaster. And believe it or not, it was removed to South Africa and Gold Reef City. So I did not know that theme parks would sell their rides to other theme parks. I guess it's cheaper than having new rides commissioned. But number 4 of the defunct is called the Wild Bull in 79 to 99. It's a circular roller thing that would go like this, centrifugal force around. It was pretty good. But it was removed to make way for Afterburner, which was called Top Gun back in the day. Much rather have that Afterburner than that roller coaster. Those were more like you get at county fairs, but that was from 79 to 98. And then the Whirling Dervish from 1979 to 2000. It's a wave swinger. It moved to Carolina's Great American Celebration. It was changed into Wings in 2000, and then was located in a country fair of now. It's called Aeronautica. They've closed some things and they've reopened it, but we'll talk about those rides here coming up. Aeronautica is pretty cool. I've got some good rides in there. Makes you feel like you're at a carnival. Then you got Honey Bear Bunch Family Reunion. That was 80 to 81, and that was very similar to the Country Bear Jamboree. Like you were going to CC's Pizza. Yeah, that's it right there. Hold that one. Hold that picture. So that makes it look like you're out in the Old West with talking bears and stuff. Just like I was gonna say CC's Pizza. What's it called, Nick? Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, I don't know. And then they had what was the horror movie here recently? Five Nights at Freddy. That was actually pretty good. It's a video game the kids played and they made it into a horror movie. They might be making a sequel. I don't know. Did you guys see it? Did you like it? I know we don't have any. Don't post anything from Five Nights at Freddy's, whatever it's called. Then we had Rip Roaring Rapids. That was from 1982 to 2018. It was also a circular raft. The ones you kind of see them at Busch Gardens. It's a big rafting thing, and there's like 6 people in a raft, and you float around in a circle, and you see the waterfalls and the waves. That area is now shut down. It is behind Lattice, and that section, when you first go into your right and you go around the corner to go towards the Fury, that ride was in that corner. It's now dried up. They need to remodel it and put something new in there. But that one was pretty cool. I do remember riding that one. And then Whitewater Falls was 88 to 2017. It was a flume style ride. Big. That was in the main part of the park. But that got removed. And Copperhead Strike is there now. And that is we'll talk about that in the next section. That ride is awesome. That's our go-to ride immediately after the Furious Copperhead Strike. We'll talk about that here a little bit later. But we got Snoopy's Great Escape. That was the Gauntlet, but that was from 1990 to 2012. And it was like a flat ride prototype. From 1990 was when it first was introduced. And it was rethemed to Rocket Power Airtime, Nickelodeon Central from 2005, then Snoopy in 2010, and then it was replaced by the food court. It's called Harmony Hall. That's where we go eat. I love that. That's a huge one. That accommodates so much. They got a stage, but we've never seen anybody playing on it. But that's where the ride was. And now that big food pavilion's there. And then Nickelodeon's Flying Super. What is that called? I can't even read my own handwriting. It's from 2000, 2008. It's a water coaster. Squirting Guests. That's the one I was talking about. That we have like our local park. But that one's not there anymore either. But it got replaced by the Flying Cobras in 2009. Is that it? I think that's it for defunct rides. Now we're going to go into the current rides. There is a huge list. Guys, I want to say thanks. We're getting into it. This is an extra long video. We wanted to talk about the Carowinds and share with you pictures and stuff from our vacation this weekend. I really appreciate you guys sticking around. Leave any comments. So your favorite theme parks, your favorite roller coaster rides, and if you've been into Carowinds, what's the ride you can't stand? But the current rides, there's Air Racers. It's a flight simulator. It spins and rotates. That one's not too bad. That's more like for kids. It's almost like one of those that you spin around like this and you go around in a circle. But let's see who's trying to call me. Marion's calling me. Sorry, honey, not answering your phone. And then Gear Spin. Oh my gosh. So Gear Spin, it starts like this, and as this goes down, this goes up and over, and it's 4 sides, so it spins. Well, that's why I call it Gear Spins. It looks like she's not taking a hint. I'm in the middle of video recording, Marianne. Stop calling me. You know I'm in the shed. So we went to ride the gear spin, brand new, looks really cool. It goes up in the air, it spins around, and it looks like everything's going to hit each other, but it keeps missing each other, just the way it works. But the problem is they had one operator, and it took 10 minutes to move it, to load it. So they basically took everybody off. It would rotate, and it would take 22 minutes to rotate to get everybody on and off the ride. Then it would take 10 minutes, maybe not even 10 minutes. It would take about 3 minutes, and the ride was over. And there was one person operating it. And then while we were waiting in line and we're calculating how long it's going to take us to do it, then they were letting people come in from the fast pace or whatever the hell that cheat line was. That ride was brand new. We wanted to ride it. We waited in line for over an hour and never got to ride it, and we left. But if they have the right amount of people operating it, that's it right there. See how that looks? That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, and that's Max. He doesn't look too happy. Hey, Maxie, how you doing? That is my favorite picture of you. Yeah, that whole weekend. But yeah, gear spin. Really disappointed, Carowinds. Get some people to operate the damn thing. And then you got Gyro Force, 1975 to current. Looks like spinning octopus. Love this ride. So that was real close to being there since the very beginning. That thing, it gets spinning, goes up and over. It's a futuristic ride. I love that one. That's where in Aeronautica now. But we rode that one this weekend. I can't believe it's been there since 75. That's crazy. Then you got Hover and Dodge. That's your bumper cars. That's it right there. It's just your standard bumper cars. They've now added lights to it and did a remodel to it. They haven't changed anything, but it's from 1979 to current. And then it was called Autodrome from 79 to 81. And then Point PT bumpers dodged them from 82 to 22. But now it's called Hover and Dodge. It's just a standard. That's over in Aeronautica. It's just bumper cars, all ages. Pretty cool. Then you have Airwalker. It's 2023 spins. It goes up and down and on a track. So it's a wave track like this. And when you get in it, it pulls you up. And as you go up, it goes and it spins. So if you catch it just right, you feel like and then it zooms you down. I like that one. Airwalker is pretty cool. Sorry, that Nick got a picture of it there. That's not me, Nick. That's some old guy. But and then you got Windstar. Holy crap. This is not 2023. It's got seats, it spins, it's got wings. You can control the height of the wings. It's pretty cool. I don't really we didn't ride it last weekend, so I can't really give you a description of what it really looked like. But it's behind the gearbox. We walked by it. We were going to go to it, but we were so upset that the gear thing was closed. Not closed, but we waited so damn long. We just left that area. We're doing good, Nick. So Copperhead Strike. That's that double launch coaster. It is a mid-size. It's got 5 inversion. It's the park's largest investment in history. And it has I haven't seen it shut down when we've been there. I've heard it's had downtime, but it's been running. We rode it 4 times on Easter Sunday, and that just takes your breath away. It looks gorgeous. You can see right there it launches, and it launches you go upside down immediately, which is really cool, just to let you know. And then it takes off right there out of the like a mine tunnel, right? Like your miner 49ers. But then there's stills, moonshiners everywhere. It's pretty cool. Then we've got mountain gliders. It's tubs suspended and spin around. This was located in Planet Snoopy, but then it was put in storage. And then 2018, later that year, it was brought back. It's called Snoopy. It was part of the expansion of Snoopy World. We did not go into Snoopy World. They've expanded it. It's more... Ow, I just kicked my toe. Ow. Snoopy's World's huge. Lots of little kids. All my kids are grown up. We're too big. We didn't go into Snoopy. So anything in reference to Snoopy World other than the mountain glider, that is a cool ride. But like Snoopy area is called, rides include Beagle, what is that called? Beagle Scorchers 2018, Camp Bus 2018, Charlie's Browns Wind Up from 73, First Air Balloon Race from 87, Kite Eating Tree from 2018, Peanuts Pirates from 2005, Peanuts Trailblazer from 2018. Those are most recent add-ons. And then Pigpen's Mud Buggies. Yeah, we didn't ride any of those. Like I said, those are all little kid ones. Plus, there's a couple more. There's Snoopy versus Red Baron. That's been there since 73. And Nikki's got that picture. And that's not us riding on it, though. There's some random people. And then you got Wilderness Run from 98. What is it called? Woodstock Express. That's a roller coaster. That is a junior wooden roller coaster. That's been there since 75. And that's actually a pretty good ride. I don't have any complaints about that one. And then the last one's Woodstock Whirlybirds from 2018. Like I said, Nikki, you put all those up there as I was saying them. I wasn't paying attention. But then Carolina Cyclone was 1980. It's a looping coaster, corkscrew, four inversions. It is noted for us to be the one of 4 coasters that needs to be retooled, tightened up, because it beats the living hell out of you, or it just needs to be replaced. But that's one of the 4 roller coasters that we recommend you avoid. Carolina Gold Rush. Oh, that one's 50 years. We were just celebrating the 50 years in running. It's the only coaster to transverse North and South Carolina. And this is actually the second of our 4 roller coasters that we recommend they just either get rid of or retool it. Whether you're small or old, avoid that one. That one beats the living hell out of you. I don't know why they can't fix it. But Carolina Gold Rush. Yay, 51 years. And I was beat to hell. And then we've got the Ricochet. It's a wild mouse ride. That one was there since 2002. Jackie loved that one when he was little. We avoid it every time we go in there. It beats the hell out of you, but you know it beats the hell out of you, and that's why you go on it. It's kind of like one of those roller coaster rides that they fit in amusement carnivals, local state fairs, and that kind of thing. But that one's pretty cool. And then we're going to flip it over. That was it for current rides, Nikki, or we've got more? Holy crap, we've got more. You got Scrambler from 1973. It spins. What's it called? Centrifugal force, with 2 people sitting in front of another, then tilts like a Ferris wheel. Oh, that's also in where oh my gosh, headed towards the Hurler or the Fury. It lays on its side. The carts are in there. You walk around this big circle. You sit in it, and as you sit in it, 2 people sit in it, and then they slide back. So as they slide back, it starts to spin, and as it spins, the cart goes. That's it right there. That is awesome. It's scary as hell. And you're spinning, and as you're spinning, now you're like this, and as you're spinning like this, then it tilts up. So you literally are going up and over. Like, yeah, that one's awesome. I definitely recommend not doing that one if you just ate. But that one's actually pretty fun. That's called a Scrambler. And then you got the Slingshot. That's the one that's on the bungee cord. It's an additional fee. It's fun to watch people do it. It's over there by the Vortex, which we'll talk about here shortly. But holy shit, it goes up like 300 feet in the air. That one's a lot of fun. Didn't do it this time, but we've done it in the past, paid for the kids to go. But it's, like I said, an additional fee inside the park to ride that one. Then you got the Grand Carousel. Just like any other carousel, you got horses that don't move. You got horses going up and down. That's been there since 1979. You just want to walk around. Yippee! Yeah. It's more my pace. Then you got the Vortex. So you do know that we had our comic book store in Sullivan, North Carolina, and it was called Vortex. I love that artwork. I know that is trademark, but that's okay. That when they opened up that roller coaster, it was 1992. We had opened up our store in 91, so we had to go do it. It's a stand-up roller coaster. You kind of have to bend your knees, and there's a big, like a bicycle seat underneath you, and it holds over. And it's an experience. And at the time, it was cooler than all hell. It was very exhilarating. It's a small, mid-sized coaster. It's really tight, really dynamic. but over the years it hasn't fared very well. And this is actually 3 of our 4 roller coasters that they either need to retool it or retire it. This one beats the hell out of you. If you have earrings, it does this and it stabs you in the neck with your own earrings. And if you have glasses, it destroys your ears with your glasses. So don't wear a hat, don't wear glasses. You try to keep your head against one side. It scrambles your brain. It should be called the brain scrambler. I don't know why people don't have concussions after getting off that ride. But yeah, that one I would skip nowadays. If you hadn't had a chance to ride and you want to experience for the first time, go ahead at your own peril. But that's number 3 of 4 roller coasters they just need to get rid of it or fix it. Tighten up a bolt or something. Come on, Carowinds. Then that's it right there. And that is me screaming. That is awesome. Marion did not want to ride that one. She took our picture. That was actually pretty cool. Yeah, there's a couple where Marion suckered us into it. So this is called a Doozy Doo. It's from 2017. It's a giant swing with 3 arms up and down and around. Jack and Max rode this one. I didn't ride that one. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty cool. And then you've got Electro Spin. This is one of those. That's one of those that you sit in and then the floor drops and you use centrifugal force and your just back is against the wall. We did not do this one. I'm not really big on tight spinny things anymore, so I avoided that one. And then you have the Rock and Roller 2017. This is 2 or 3 seater, spins going up and down like the Matterhorn ride. What is that one? I actually didn't do that one, this one. I don't even know where the heck that one is, Nikki. You got a picture of it? You don't? Okay, well, at least you heard about it. You got the Flying Cobra, 2009. It's a gravity drop. Oh, that one's awesome. So you get into a roller coaster and it pulls you up. So you're not riding a chain up. It pulls you up and you get in a situation at the top. And then it releases you. And then you go backwards around a corner, up around a hill, upside down, back this way, and then do a loop-de-loop, and then you go back up. So as you go back up, it kind of catches your momentum, grabs you, pulls you up again. But this time you're going up backwards and releases you and you go back down the same track just so it goes backwards and then it goes forwards. That one's actually pretty cool. They call it the Flying Cobras of 2009. I don't know why there's multiple Cobras. There's only one cart. But that one's you have to ride that one. That one's a blast. And then we have the Zephyr 2017. It suspends you as the ride rotates in a circular motion. Is that the great big one, Nikki? That's not the great big one? Maybe that's over here. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know that one. Sorry, guys. I got a big question mark. Nikki, you got any pictures of that one? You don't have any ones of that one? All right, we'll skip it. And then you got Afterburn. That's from 2007 to current. 1999 to 2007, it was Top Gun, the jet coaster. Really cool. It's where you sit in it and your feet dangle. People lose your shoes all the time. That one's a must ride. Definitely got to do that one. That one's really cool because you go out and around the corner, and as you go up and before you go over, you can see Charlotte. You see the parking lot, and then you see the water park, the entrance. You see the freeway, and then the ride is on, and then you don't see anything again. But your feet, I felt like all the blood was rushing to my feet. But then we got Boo Blasters. That one's had. That's a sit-down ride with like laser tag, shooting targets. That one goes, but definitely recommend. If you want a high score, don't shoot the targets that are right in front of you. As soon as you enter the room, you kind of just glance at the 2 or 3 that are in front of you, but you need to look at the 3 or 4 that are in the next room because you are shooting those and you can get them for a longer period of time as you're going into the next room. You come up on them, and then as soon as you go towards the next room, start targeting the other targets. I had 350,000. I mean, I destroyed anybody in the points. And they said, you were cheating, your gun doesn't work. I mean, they weren't talking like that. I was just differentiating. That's it. That's a picture of it. But that's called Boo Blasters now. And it was Scooby-Doo there for a while when Paramount was there. That's the video Nikki's got. and yeah, they got walls. It's just your standard sit cart shooting targets. It's pretty cool. But yeah, and then you got Windseeker 2010 300 feet rotating swings. If you're afraid of heights, do not get on that ride. It takes you up, and you think you're the tallest thing there. You see the Intimidator, you're over it. You see this sit-down carousel thing that you sit inside a closed area. That's for the less faint of heart. If you can't stand heights, do not get on this, because it goes way the hell up there. And you're in your chair, and you feel the fear of God, and you spinning around. Don't look at the pole. You'll get dizzy. So you got to look out at Charlotte, and then you look around. You can see the mountains. You can see like the mountains from South Carolina and far away. It's a beautiful ride. But when you come back around and you're going north and you feel the wind hitting you, there is not enough protection. I'm getting older to where I'm starting to feel like, holy shit. That's it right there. Oh, that is scary. Michael bailed on me. Michael said he had to go to the bathroom, and he never came back. So I rode that with some other people. And there was some screaming, and I was glad that one was over. But that was called Windseeker. That is 300 feet rotating swing. It was the tallest ride there until the Fury 325 feet in the air. We'll get to that. Then you've got the Drop Tower, 1996 to current. That's a height of 160 feet, but it's a 100-foot drop. So it'll go to the top, it'll drop, and it just doesn't drop at the bottom. So it drops and catches you and bounces slightly as it goes back down to the bottom. It's kind of like Dr. Doom's Drop Tower and all Universal there in Florida. A lot of these places have these. It's my dad went on that one with Jack and the boys and me when they went. But that was from 96 to 07. It was called the Stunt Tower Drop Zone. But then we get down to we're getting down to it. Sorry, I know this video is longer, but we really love our rides. Oh, so here we go. The Fury. So it's from 2015. It is a mega coaster, which is what I always called it, but it's known as a hyper coaster. And it's the tallest in the world to use a pull chain. It had records before, but then I think Dubai or somebody made one taller. But this thing goes 95 miles an hour. It's got a 10-degree invert that goes, so when you go up over the edge, it actually brings you back inside as you go back down. We're going to post the video. Marion's calling. Sorry about that. As soon as I connected the phone call with Marion, it shut the video down. So we'll add them together, and I'll post them as one video. But as you can see, holy shit, that is Marion. That I got some footage of her doing this. More power to her. She did it twice that day. And then this last weekend, she did it again. She's never really liked that big coaster, but she wanted to ride it with her boys. And that video right there, I was able to capture her. She's mad at me because she doesn't like me to show everybody how much screaming she does. But you know what? I love it. And if it brings that out of you, you got to share it with people. That is the 6th fastest in the world. It won the golden ticket for top coaster. It's won many awards since its opening. But then it was also known 2023. It was closed there late. It had a break and a weld. And we had rode on it. And when you leave, you didn't notice it when you're riding on it. But when you left and you look up at it, then the neck of one of the sections had come loose. So when the cart was going across it, it was doing this and had broke that weld. And we later found out that it was going like that for a couple of weeks. There was a big thing talking about safety and following protocols of doing inspections. They had to go through and change the way they were inspecting it. Yep, looks good. Yep, looks good. I don't know what the hell. They never disclosed what their findings were, but they had to redo that whole neck. They sent out for a new piece from the manufacturer, and then the manufacturer said that these types of coasters are designed to where if a certain feature fails, there's redundancies in the track design and other legs. So if a leg were to give free, the way the track is built, the track will support it. That way you don't have catastrophic damage. That would have sucked. But they never had catastrophic damage. They just had a weld break, and then they took that off and redid that whole section. It's up and running now, and they just won 2024's golden ticket, meaning that's one of the coasters in the United States and in the world you need to go ride. Hell, even when it was broken, it was fun to ride. But that was the Fury. All right, cool. I'll stop gushing over it. But then the Hurler, this is the last one. That's that one's 4-4. That's that wooden roller coaster I was talking about earlier. It was originally in Wayne's World. It was called the Hurler, and it was owned by Paramount. And then when it got sold to Cedar Fair, they changed the whole area. But that definitely needs to be retooled again to make it smoother, or just get rid of it, put something else in there. But I mean, if you're that big of a roller coaster ride, is there enough rides in there for you to enjoy with avoiding 4 of the coasters? The answer is yes. But Nighthawk, that could be the 5th one because it's always down. You never really get to ride it. But then you've got Scream Reaver. It was renamed a Meteorite, 1979. That's another one of those types of rides that you could see at your county fair. Spins around up and down. It's fun. And then you got Carolina Sky Tower. That's the enclosed seating that spins around. So it spins around and go up. It's like a viewing tower. It only goes up 262 feet. It spectates view of the Carolinas. If you're afraid of being out and open, this is enclosed, so you at least feel like you're in a secure area. But that's Carolina Sky Tower. And then you got Kitty Hawk, which is a small version of the Hulk. Their feet hang out and it spins around. We rode that when the kids were little. We didn't ride it this time. That was pretty fun. That was there since 2003. And then, of course, Nighthawk is still up and running. That's been there since 2004. You start on your back, it flips over. We talked about it flying over, so you feel like you're flying through the air like a superhero. And then 2004 to 2007, it was called the Borg Assimilator. That was back when Paramount owned it. But then, like I said, has a lot of downtime. And that's it. So that is our family. I do have permission to show them screaming and yelling and having a good time on the roller coasters. But I really appreciate you hanging out with me. This is totally different. We've got a bunch of comic book stuff coming. I finally got a lot of supplies in. I've got 2 boxes of books we got to process. Got to get ready for our 250th episode. I've got some really big things coming up for that anniversary episode. And then Nikki, you got all the editing in. I think this one turned out pretty good. I want to thank Nick doing due diligence with this video. You guys hanging out with us, and we'll see you soon on the next Behind the Hunt. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.